So recently I did a video trying to decide what plugin to choose for my free Neural DSP plugin that comes with the CoreOS 3.0 release for the Quad Cortex. And one of the things I was thinking as I approached that was, some of the plugins I already have, either there's good models on the Quad Cortex, or in some other cases, I'd already purchased some really high quality captures for some of those amps. And I didn't feel like I needed to get a plugin because I had those captures. So I decided, let's test that out. And the one I'm specifically kind of focusing in on for this video is the Tone King. So Neural DSP has a really good plugin for the Tone King Imperial, but at the same time, I also bought some really good captures from Amalgam of the same amp. And you can see that here, and there's a whole set of captures that came with this. This was a capture pack that costs about $35 or so, give or take on the exchange rate. And this one was built to be DI plugins that you use with an IR, and it came with a set of IRs as well. And so what I wanted to do is, putting aside the fact that the Tone King plugin isn't compatible with the Quad Cortex yet, it may not be for a while, but let's put that aside for now. And if we're comparing getting a plugin versus purchasing high quality captures for the same amp for the Quad Cortex, I just want to compare those and see kind of what we get. So let's put this aside for now. And so what I've got here is I've got the Tone King Imperial plugin up, and at the same time I have my favorite captures from that Amalgam capture pack. And I've got 4 levels of gain. I've got a clean one, I've got an edge of breakup, I've got kind of a crunch rhythm, and then kind of a lead. And so what I did initially was I went to the Neural DSP plugin for the Tone King, and I took these settings that Amalgam gives you of their captures and basically just took the captures that I like and duplicated those settings on the plugin. And you can see here I've created 4 kind of user presets: a clean, a crunch, an edge, and a lead. And on the back end, I went ahead and used the same IRs that I'm using on the Quad Cortex. And so yes, this plugin comes with its own kind of speaker emulation. I think it's a 1x12. It looks like this. But I wanted to just stick with the same IRs so that we're hearing a difference in the model, not so much in the IR or the other pieces. So let's just start off comparing the tones between the 2 sounds and see how we go. So let's start with the Amalgam. And right now we're on the clean, and I'm using an HSS style guitar. I'm on the neck position, so that's a single coil. And let's hear how it sounds. And I'm going to switch to the preset that I use that just makes the Quad Cortex an interface into the plugin. And here's what the clean sound on the plugin sounds like. So pretty close. I feel like there's a little more kind of low end on the plugin. But overall, pretty close. And I think they both sound good. So let's move to the edge of breakup, and we'll just start here on the plugin. So here's the edge. And let's check out the edge capture. I like the edge tone on the plugin a little bit better. But they have pretty similar tones to them. I mean, it's a very small difference, but I think I do for the edge on the plugin. Let's go ahead and switch to the crunch. So I think the capture, even though I've got it set to the same settings, the capture has a little more grit to it, and the grit has a little bit of a different character. The plugin sounds a little more open. So once again, I think I like the plugin just a little bit better. Again, they sound very, very similar, but the plugin has a little bit of an edge to me. So this is the lead warm, and it's a boosted. So that's why you see the input is cranked here, because if we go over to the Amalgam description of this, I'm using the lead warm boost, and it's got a 12 dB boost on it, and it's got the settings. So I just went ahead and stuck with those settings, and I put the 12 dB boost on it. That's why you see that input boost there. So and let's switch over to the same capture. So here, I think the capture is, there's a more of a warmth to it. So I think in this case, I like the sound of the capture better than the sound of the plugin. But the nice thing about the plugin is we can tweak how it sounds. Maybe we bring the tone down a little bit. Maybe even crank the gain just a little bit. So I think that does kind of warm it up a little bit. Maybe even bring this down just a tad. Yeah, that sounds nice. Let's go ahead and save that. But we'll go back over and compare it. So I think overall, and again, this is assuming that we can get this plugin to run on the Quad Cortex, which I think we will eventually. It's just going to take some time. But for me, since I already own the capture pack, I don't know that the slight sonic improvement from the plugin, which I think there is one, I don't know that it'd be worth it. However, if I did not already own the capture pack and I had the choice between a plugin, again, that's assuming it runs on the Quad Cortex, and this capture pack, I think I would choose the plugin. Obviously, there's a lot more configurability with the plugin, and I do think that some of the tones I'm getting from the plugin, even though they're going through the same IRs and they have the same basic settings, I think they sound better than the captures. There's a certain level of fidelity. Now, we also don't know for sure that in the transition from the plugin onto the Quad Cortex, that the blocks on the Quad Cortex would sound exactly the same as the plugin. I think I've already seen from the Plini, there's slight differences. So that's another caveat to this, but I'm really liking how this Tone King Imperial plugin sounds. And if I had to choose between this or the captures, I think I would choose this. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I hope you found this interesting. And I think as the number of plugins compatible with the Quad Cortex expands, this will be a decision facing a lot of Quad Cortex owners is, do I pay for this capture pack or can I get it from the plugin? You're going to be paying extra money either way, but which is going to give me better results? So I thought this was an interesting comparison. I hope you did too, and thanks for watching.